What's up, guys? Welcome back to another What If. What if Deku was an Avenger? And this is part 2. If you haven't watched What If Deku was Captain America, yeah. And I'm gonna make the slight adjustment to the story. I'm gonna say Iron Man is going to be Momo, and she's gonna be Iron Girl. And he doesn't go through the recommendation. He wants to go as normal, like canon. And yeah. So, I guess we get into the story. So, welcome guys to my story. And now, let's begin. So, Deku's training. And he's training with this one girl with brown hair. And this one kid with purple hair. And he's using arrows. And he asks them, "Who are you?" And he says, "My name is Hitoroshi." And she says, "My name is Uraka, but people call me Black Widow." And Hitoroshi says, "Then I'm Hawkeye." And they're both agents for S.H.I.E.L.D. Hitoroshi, he's the son of Aizawa, and Aizawa knows about S.H.I.E.L.D. and he used to work with them. Yeah, and he quit to be a hero. And Uraka, she's a Russian spy, and she quit, but she uses that with hero work, and yeah. But she goes undercover, and now she wants to come out, and yeah. So, day 3, they train for the 9 months, and they've been planning that they don't want to do the recommendation anymore. And they tell All Might, and All Might's he's okay with that, and he's like, alright. And don't forget, All Might's in the skinny form, because he lost in the battle with All For One, and he lost all his power. And also, Mirio, he's now this giant being. It's like he's the replica of Thanos, and a Nomu, so he's very powerful. Because he got captured, and he has one form, so yeah. So they train for the 9 months. And it's now UA time. And we see Momo, and she transforms into Iron Man, Iron Girl, and she blasts it off. And everybody says, "It's Iron Girl." And she blasts it to UA, and everybody says the same thing. And then she removes her suit, and everyone said, "It's Momo Yaoruzu," because she's also been a superhero for the past 2 years after her parents have died, and she had a heart problem, and she was rich, so she instead just made a suit that she could fight crime with and stop people from killing people's parents, like what happened to her. And yeah. And Izuku sees her, and he actually blushes because he actually likes Momo. He's his celebrity crush. So, and then everybody realized that there's a kid with a shield, same thing as Captain America. And they heard on the news that Captain America is alive, and he was just in Frozen, and they heated him up, and now he's going to UA. And they look at this kid and they're like, it can't be. He can't be Captain America. And then everybody leaves Yaoruzu, and then they just straight up go to Iron Man and say, "Thank you for my quirk. Without you, I'll be useless." And Deku's like, yeah, sure. Back in my heydays, we had autographs. Does anybody have a paper and pen? And everybody just takes their pen out from their pockets and they give it to Deku. And Deku, he's not all about the fame life, and he just signs them. And Uraka is like, "Oh my gosh, this guy." And Hitoroshi has a crush on Uraka, and yeah. And we also see Ida. He's off-world right now. And yeah. And he's fighting Loki, his brother. And yeah, his brother is called Monoma, I guess. And he killed Odin whilst he was asleep so he could be thrown. And he's defending Asgard at this moment. And if you don't know, Ricardo is going to play as Hulk this one. And yeah, his father went in an accident, so he tried to save his life by using radiation, but all that radiation went into him, and it unlocks this thing, this green monster, when he's angry, and he calls it Hulk. So everybody's now walking into the hall, and they see President Mike, and he's saying, welcome people, and today we are going to be going to the UA entrance exam, and you should not try and mess with the 0-pointer robot, as it's very deadly and there's no use to the robot. And also, try and get hero points. If you get over all Mike, you'll get a reward and a new and improved gadget that you could use. And yeah, let me say that the robots have got more power than they were in the canon. So they got guns, like these beams, like if I say stormtroopers they have, but they have them in their chests and their arms. So yeah, and they do their test, and Deku, he's around, like, if I say he's 15, he's like top 15, because remember, he just came back from 100 years in the past. Things have changed, but he's learned new things. Yeah, he's getting used to the environment, and he leaves, and he goes to the practical, and everybody's there, everybody is stretching, everybody's actually just looking at Captain America to see how he fights and that, and Deku, he's cracking his knuckles, and yeah, and he takes his shield from his back, and yeah, and then President Mike says, there's no time for heroes to wait, then go! And Deku just runs super fast, just like he was in Infinity War against Black Panther. And he's running super fast, and he speeds past everybody, and everybody's like, what the? And he's just faster, just like Ida. And yeah, so Deku, he throws his shield, and it cuts off the robot's head, and then yeah, and then Deku, he jumps and he starts climbing onto this one robot, and then he starts putting explosions, and he jumps through the robot, and yeah. And then we see Momo, she puts on her suit, she flies, and then she starts shooting beams and repulsor blasts. And we see Ricardo, he's trying to get angry, but he can't. And then this one kid, Hiroshi, he throws his arrow straight at him, making Ricardo mad. But Hiroshi's got an understanding quirk, and he's got an eyesight quirk. So yeah, he understands people's quirks, how they get mad. So yeah, and Hiroshi's like, yeah, it works. And Ricardo's like, yes! And he starts smashing robots, and he goes left and right, and starts screaming like, Hulk, smash! And he thunderclaps, and it smashes like 100 robots at once. And then he jumps in the air, and he says, atomic smash! Blasting 50 robots away, and everybody's like, what the hell? And then we see Hiroshi just throwing explosive arrows through the sky, and he's taking grappling hooks, and yeah. Then we see Uraraka, she's just shooting robots, and she's tasing them, and she's also hacking on them, so as Momo. And yeah, and then everybody's like, what? I'm not even gonna get at 1 point. And then they see the 0 pointer robot, and it's just like all 5 of them, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's one big of a robot. And Deku, he's like, I'm not gonna die. So Deku, he does the most bizarre thing. He tells Momo to hold his shield, and so she holds his shield as she's flying, and Deku, he jumps on a pole, and then he swings on an electric wire, and he jumps up. He takes the shield from Momo, and then he boomerangs it through the neck, exploding the robot. Momo, she's doing a tag team with Deku, and she beats her chest beam, and it deflects into the robot's chest, so it deflects through the shield, from the shield into the robot's chest. Hawkeye, he puts his arrow through the chest and explodes through the arms and the legs. Uraraka, she has a rope of electric wires, and she charges them, and it makes even more explosion, and then Hulk just comes and he does an atomic slam, but it's not as powerful as he did once. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, the best tag team ever. And All Might's like, I never taught any of these kids, besides from Deku, Uraraka, and Hitoroshi. What the hell? We need new recruits. We need Momo and that Ricardo kid. They're very powerful. I think they could destroy One for all for one, and especially Mirio, if he's still alive. And yeah, so Deku, he gets in his motorbike, and so was Uraraka, and Hitoroshi. He goes to Aizawa, and Aizawa says, I'm very proud of you, kid. Never knew you could ace going to UA just with a understanding of quirks and a nice sharp of eye to using every weapon. And he's proud of himself, and yeah. And we follow from Ida, and he's fighting with Loki, and it's very gory because Loki has his own army, and yeah. And Deku's using Ida's using his lightning, and he goes into the rainbow thing, and it sends him to Earth because he was very weak at that time, and it lands him into this more woods, and then he leaves the woods and he sees a city, and he sees this tall building and it says UA. And yeah, so Deku, he's in his apartment in Shield Base, and he gets a letter, and it's from UA, and Deku, he obviously knew that he was obviously gonna get in, but he never realized that he actually got first place. And he got a smile on his face, and then he starts training, starts fighting, and then he breaks the punching machine, and yeah. And all the people who tag team, yeah, they passed, and yeah. So Deku, he buys his uniform, And he also bumps into Momo, and she and him go on a dinner in the mall, and they start talking that they're actually a perfect tag team. And Deku, he says maybe you should join Shield, and he tells her everything about Hydra and the things he knows about the new Shield. And yeah, and we skip from this part and we see Todoroki a long time ago, from hundreds of years, in Captain America, if What If Deku Was Captain America, part 1. And we see Todoroki in the river, and he lands into a Hydra base, and they give him a mechanical arm because his arm got cut off. And yeah, and they put a serum in him and they hypnotize him. So yeah, and hundreds of years later, he's out of his frozen tomb, and he's reincarnated to kill Captain America, because only Captain America knows about Hydra and basically Shield, and he's meant to get info and then kill him, as he was his best friend. But this time he's going as disguise, so he's gonna change his hair color to black. And yeah, so, and also the person who killed Momo's parents was Todoroki. And yeah, so Deku, he goes to class 1A and he sees Bakugo, and he doesn't know him, and he just sees how rude he is, sitting on his seat like that. And yeah, and Deku, he tells Katsuki to put his feet down, and it's very disrespectful. And if you're back in my heydays, you'll probably get a whooping. And Bakugo's like, and who the hell are you? And he says, I'm Captain America. And then Bakugo, he goes and prays on Deku's feet, and he starts kissing him, and then on the feet, and he says, thank you, he gave me my quirk, now I must become the most powerful hero ever to live. And Deku says, okay, you can have an autograph, but put your feet down next time. And Katsuki, he puts his feet down, and he feels ashamed, and yeah. And Deku, no, actually, I would say Aizawa, he's awake, and yeah. He says, that took you 5 minutes. Now, let's put on our sports uniform or PE uniform and get ready. And Momo, she's like, but what about the orientation? And Aizawa's like, just because you're Iron Girl doesn't mean you have to do an orientation. I am the teacher of this lesson. And Hitoroshi, he looks at his dad in a weird way, like, really? And Aizawa's like, yes, in his own eyes. And they all go to the changing room, and everybody sees how buffed Deku is with his 12-pack, and what's his name again? Coming out? No, that's the electric guy. Kirishima, yeah. He says, wow, you look very buffed. And Deku says, training. He says, training, and also I was given a super serum back in the day, and then he leaves. Every girl starts blushing, like, this is Captain America, the person who gave them their quirks, and Deku starts waving back and like he salutes to them like a soldier, and yeah. And Aizawa throws a ball to Deku, and Deku catches it, and he says, "Why did you throw this ball?" And then Aizawa says, "I threw the ball because you got the highest points out of everybody. You might as well just throw the ball and see how far it goes. And the last one who doesn't get a high score gets expelled. So better hurry up." And so Deku says, "Okay." Then he says, "Why not my shield?" And Aizawa says, good point. So Deku, he throws his shield super far in the air, literally like a frisbee, and he goes like around 700 meters. And Aizawa was shocked, like, this is normal kid's hand. And yeah. So, and everybody sees this electrified light through the sky, and it gets stormy. And yeah. And Aizawa, he says, "Kids, I think you may need to go back inside. I think there's gonna be a thunderstorm or something." So they go inside, they hide underneath their desks, and then suddenly a person just lands in your way and he says, "I am a god. I am Odin, and I need to protect my people. They say heroes are here, and those heroes may help me in this battle." And Deku, he peeks out, and he says, "Guys, it's just a person with a quirk." And Aizawa, he tells the news reporters it's just a person with a quirk, and yeah. So Deku, he goes outside, and everybody's like, "What the hell? This kid is really a hero." Or maybe should I say old man. And yeah. So we see Ida just wearing an armored silver and blue, also red cape. And Deku, he's like, "Hey, we're heroes in training. But I'm kind of a hero too, but what do you need? Is there a greater threat? Is Hydra on the loose again?" And Deku, he wants some action. And Ida says, "I am a god. I am son of Odin. I am the god of thunder and lightning. I hold his hammer to see who's worthy." And Deku's like, "You see who's worthy?" And then he touches it and he's like, "What do you mean?" And he holds it and he's like, "Anybody?" And he flips it off and he flicks it back to Ida, and Ida says, "That's a valuable weapon. How did you..." And then he realized these are heroes. And it's part of Odin's thing that Mjolnir has. And Ida says, "If you guys are heroes and I'm a god, does that mean heroes are superior than gods?" Then he says, "Then I guess I have to be a hero and a god." So he wants to join UA. He tells Principal Nezu about Loki and that he wants to rule the whole universe. And he's got a full-on army. And yeah, an army of these aliens from a different dimension. And yeah, and this dimension is Dimension X 48. Yeah. And yeah. So Deku, he goes into class, and everybody's like, Then what did he say? And then he tells them about, he says God of Thunder, and he's a god of Asgard, and that his brother Loki wants to rule the universe from Dimension X with his army, and yeah. And I guess they continue their thing, and let me say that who should leave? I'm gonna say Invisible Girl and Mineta, and that's quite it. And yeah, they leave, they get expelled, and yeah, they stay. Our original team now. And I think this is just part 2, right? Should I end this? Oh, no, actually. So it's now the next day, and Izuku Midori, he has arrived at school, and he's getting flied up. He's got his Jordans, and he just walks into class, and everybody starts faming him, and he's like, yes, but you should be mostly faming Momo. And Momo starts blushing, and then everybody starts faming her. And Deku sits down, and he puts his shield underneath his desk just for safekeeping. And he sits next to Momo. And Momo starts talking to Deku, and they start talking. And then All Might busts. No, it's not All Might then. If All Might's weak. Well, All Might would be doing shield business instead, just like Nick Fury. So as he'll be with David Shield and Night Eye. Oh, this is very hard. Then it would be midnight. It'll be midnight. Yeah, it'll be midnight. And he'll burst through the door, and every boy would be blushing, so was Deku. But he would stop, and then he would just look at Mineta, and Mineta just getting red, and then Deku, he literally smacks Mineta in the face, and Mineta says, oh, I'm sorry. And then Midnight says, every boys and girls, we've got 2 new students. The first student is Tenya Ida, the god of thunder, as he claims, and ruler of Asgard, so as his father. But he's come here to become a hero and a god, to become more powerful than Loki, and learn his powers of Mjolnir. And then we see a person with black hair, and naturally, I'm gonna say it's black and blue hair, and his name is Jonah, and Jonah, he's Todoroki, yeah, he's Todoroki, and he's in disguise, and he straight away sits on a different desk, but it's next to Deku, so he can get a lot of info about him and S.H.I.E.L.D. so they can literally overtake, because there are some people who are in S.H.I.E.L.D. that are Hydra agents, and they want to, fight back, and so they continue up their day, and then they go to the hero versus villain course, and it is Deku and Deku versus Todoroki. No, actually, it's Deku and Todoroki versus Momo and Um, and I guess Ricardo, and yeah, Ricardo, he smashes his head in to the wall and turns into Hulk, and he starts crashing through places into the building. Sometimes the building is shaking, and yeah, and Deku and Todoroki, and I'm just gonna call him Todoroki, but they call him a different name. So Todoroki, he's just following Deku, and yeah. Okay, I'll just call him Jonah. So Jonah, he follows Deku, and Deku goes down, and then he sees Hulk, and Deku he blocks Hulk's punch with his shield, and then he throws the shield straight at Hulk's face, but Hulk tries to dent it, but it's made by vibranium, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't break the shield, and then the shield comes back to him, and yeah. And then Momo comes from nowhere, and she shoots her repulsor beam, and then Ricardo, he pulls Deku from the back and swings him to a wall off from the building, and then Deku, good thing he stabbed the wall with his shield, so he's now hanging. So he's climbing to the window, and yeah, and he comes inside the building, and then he says, "I can do this all day." And Hulk says, "I'm just getting started." And then Jonah, he comes into the middle of them, and he gets his middle arm, and then he punches Hulk in the face, the other side, and so as Deku, and they basically knock him out. But they think they knocked him out, and they just even made Ricardo even more mad, and he says, "Hulk, smash!" And it just snaps the whole of the building in half. And the building is literally falling down, and Deku and Jonah are hanging, and they see the bomb, and the bomb is dropping, and Hulk is about to catch it. So as Momo, as they're flying and they jumping, and then we see Deku, and he's running, and then he takes his shield and he throws it straight at Momo's face, and then Todoroki, he jumps on Deku's shield and he touches the bomb, and making Hulk mad, so he grabs Todoroki, and then he starts doing the Hulk move on Loki thing, swinging him left and right, and Todoroki gets knocked out, and then he comes back alive. No, actually, so basically, Todoroki, he basically was knocked out, and when he's knocked out, he becomes his normal self. But the sad thing is that Recovery Girl is also a Hydra agent, and yeah, so she reads the poem that could turn him into this new fresh Hydra agent to kill Deku and get more closer to S.H.I.E.L.D. And yeah. Ricardo, he turns back to Ricardo, and yeah. And the day goes like that. So everybody fights, or Raka fights, Hitoroshi, Ida fights, Bakugo, and Bakugo just gets whooped by Mia, just left single-handedly, and yeah. So, I'm going to end it here, and maybe in a few minutes, I'm going to do part 3, and yeah. So, see you guys on the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And like, can I have any ideas in the comments like to do? Cause I was gonna make like Mario like the new Thanos, like this Thanos, and also Inonu. And he's also gonna get Loki's army. And yeah. And tell me any facts I should know about anybody's superpower that I could use. Yeah. So please like, because there's some people like, if I get like a 70 views or 80 views, it's like around 5 likes. Can we at least get it to like 20 likes, please? Because it's been like 35 minutes of this, so yeah. And good night.